The way people are feeling about getting back out there and the industry restarting is the overall sentiment globally is the US, as you know, is a bit more ahead of EMEA, and the APAC, they had a bit less of a retreat, so they are a little bit further ahead. But overall in EMEA and in the UK, people are really looking forward to getting back to business. Look, it's a really difficult question to answer because everybody goes through different things, and so everybody has a different story, and we are very sympathetic to that. Of course, the live events industry has taken a huge knock over the last 15 months, and we're very sympathetic to that. It has been a bit of a bad news for the events not being able to reopen in June, but having to wait till July. But we hope that after the reopening, and hopefully the reopening of the 19th of July, that live events especially can get back to business, and events and conferences and all sorts of those key in-person engagements. Their comeback will be, it's coming back from a bit of a further place. The pandemic really hit EMEA worse than APAC and North America. I mean, LATAM itself also was badly impacted. But speaking to our UK members, at the end of the day, they are really looking forward to getting back out there and doing more work, although they have been really quite busy. And as mentioned, the UK construction industry carried on, whereas in Ireland it had to stop for a while. But speaking to my colleagues on the continent, again, things are really strong in France. There's a lot of UC sales and integration taking place. I think that the UK was slightly a bit more ahead of the curve when it came to unified communications and video conferencing. So places like Italy and France and Germany were probably starting a little bit further back, but they've had hugely steep growth in that sector of the AV industry. You've heard probably of the digitization within Europe, and I think that was probably a bit slow, but that at the end of the day, like so many countries and regions, had to really ramp it up with the pandemic because there was no other choice. So the AV industry has done quite well in that realm. Yeah. The biggest growth opportunities for coming out is it's a bit of a double-edged sword, because at the end of the day, the biggest growth will come from the biggest hurting part of the industry, which is unfortunate because the biggest growth will be in-person AV use. So we're already seeing a lot of growth with digital signage and public spaces, and anywhere really where people are getting out and about. So shopping malls, retail, hospitality. So of course the corporate AV is always big. It's still the biggest chunk of the market. That growth will be quite slow, whereas the rapid growth will be coming from live events, in-person, audiovisual, all about the space where AV is used. There's been a lot of talk and a lot of chatter about the fact that people have been cooped up and do want to get out, and our market intelligence team, the research that they've been seeing across the globe is that people do want to get out, and there will be spend. People have been saving during the pandemic, and where you've seen countries where they've come out of lockdowns, there was some case studies done in Korea where they came out of lockdown and there was a huge spend in retail and experience, and I think people are itching to get back out there. As you know, the UK industry has a very big festival industry and live events industry, and people do want to get back out to those events and certainly try and experience some of those events before we come to the close of the summer. So I think we're going to find it very busy, and hopefully that all goes well and we can still have some of those live events take place. But we're also seeing from the industry that there's a bit of a worry about, just like hospitality, of a shortage of skilled staff to go out there and actually do the work that needs to be done, because as you know, a lot of people have diversified their work to get into other industries, and some of them might stay in those industries. So I think a bit of work needs to be done about enticing those brilliant people who have the great skills to put on great performances and live events to come back. We are very excited about the Infocom show, which is due to take place in October. I've had a lot of positive feedback from Europeans that are actually looking to go. There are a lot of projects which are due to be rolled out, and they actually want to see product. They want to speak to the manufacturers. So we're hearing people from the Nordics, through the UK. I'm hearing people saying, "Oh, I've got approval to go to Infocom." So I think that's going to be a really great show. The US industry was really obviously happy that ISE went ahead, but they missed out on their show to come together as a community. So they're really excited to do so in Orlando in October. So that's a really big thing on our radar. But as you know, AVIXA is always busy, always bringing out new content, education, always on the move. Our diversity drive is very important, and we have very active women's council and very interesting councils which touch on other things like live events. And so it's really just worth having a look and see what's happening on the AVIXA website. So I really like this industry because I think it's the people, I think, primarily that make things happen. Today, as you can probably tell, maybe really enthusiastic, and what's really exciting is if today and tomorrow creates this buzz amongst the people that have attended today and the conversations that we've had and myself, and I think that this is just a taste of things to come, and we are ultimately people's people in the industry, and we really like creating great experiences for the different verticals that we serve.